What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the JoshCast, the first ever JoshCast, officially here on the JoshCast channel. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Give me a round of applause. Woo! Ow! That's for you. Give yourself a pat on the back. That's for click and play. Congratulations. You made it. You're in the club. Thanks for being here. Okay, so what's the JoshCast about? You're probably wondering to yourself. Well, the JoshCast is basically whatever I want it to be about. It changes depending on the time, the day, the mood, you know. It's all over the place. It's all about me. That's why I love it. That's why you should love it. Ugh, I see, even that's coming off too douchey, you know. I'm not really that narcissistic. I am narcissistic, but not that narcissistic. Not selling myself well. Okay. Enough of that. What do I like? I like video games. I like comic books. I like living like trash. Basically, I like judging things. I like judging. I like judging. I want my voice to be heard. That's why I'm doing this, I guess. You can hear it. You don't have to agree with it, and I absolutely respect your ability to not agree with it. You absolutely do not have to agree with anything that I say. That is fine. I am okay with that. You don't have to watch. That's okay. Um, but be respectful of others. Find ways to disagree without being, a giant dick. You know, it can be hard sometimes. I suffer with this myself. Sometimes you just want to be a dick. You gotta fight that urge somehow. You just gotta fight the urge. Uh, Another thing that okay, so what I want to talk about on this podcast more than anything, probably I'm going to be talking about video games. Probably I'm going to be talking about news. Probably going to be talking about comic books or stuff like that. Stuff that I'm interested in, stuff that I'm doing, stuff that I'm reading. I definitely think I'm going to be doing a comic series for the first little bit here, for sure, because I've definitely been reading a little more of my comics recently. Like, I went back and I started reading a bunch of my Before Watchmen comics. I really liked that series. I really love the Watchmen. So the Before Watchmen series was like a cool little neat one for me to get back into. Yesterday was Free Comic Book Day, so that should, for anybody who knows when Free Comic Book Day is, that's like a little wink wink to you to know when this was recorded. Um, I picked up 3 books. Basically, I got the My Hero Academia one, just because it's a little issue between where Katja and Deku have that fight. I thought it was a cool little like a novelty thing, so I picked that up as one of the 3 that I was allowed to get. I got a Spider-Man issue, which looks like it's going to be connected. The story is going to be like connected between 3 different kind of comic books: Venom, the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, and the Miles Morales Spider-Man. It looks like that series is going to be kind of split between these 3. Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe they're just paying tribute to everybody that was in this. But definitely the Venom series looks like it's going to be interesting. I think this is the first kind of chapter in that new series, so I'm gonna be probably following that and playing and talking about that. I got a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic. I haven't actually read it fully all the way through yet. Surprisingly enough, I've kind of just kind of peeked at it, looked through it a little bit, and there's a lot of weird stuff going on that I think I would have to follow the rest of the comics to really kind of understand. But I like the Ninja Turtles. Who doesn't like the Ninja Turtles? You have to be kind of a goof to not like the Ninja Turtles. And Mortal Kombat X, or sorry, X, I already gave it away. Mortal Kombat 11 came out recently, and I wanted to see if they would do another comic series, because they did a comic series for Mortal Kombat X, and I got a couple of those. I followed that series for a short time. Really enjoyed that. I thought it was like, I always liked the lore and the art for Mortal Kombat, and especially since them and Warner Brothers kind of have like a thing with each other. You can usually expect some good art out of that. Warner Brothers, I also believe, owns DC. I could be wrong about that. Don't take my word for that. They have definitely a partnership with DC though. What other comics am I going to be talking about? Let me just face my back towards the camera here real quick. Really unprofessional here. We've got Watchmen, V for Vendetta, anything Alan Moore, I'm a big fan of. I want to read Swamp Thing. I have not read Swamp Thing yet. So I definitely think that will be one that I'll pay attention to. I'll talk about in further depth once I fully read through that. The Civil War crisis in the MCU, both Part One and Part Two, have very different opinions on both of them. Would love to do a series on that. I'll probably dedicate a podcast to talking about that at some point. So pay attention for that. Um, what was the other one? Oh, the Secret Invasion. I basically all my comics are from like fucking 8 years ago, at the very least. I haven't really kept up to date with much of the new stuff, so that's why I'm kind of doing this, because I'm hoping it will kind of get me back into it. It will push me to go back out there and start doing it a little bit more. I got a Curious Comics like right down the street from me, so it'd be cool to kind of help the business out a little bit. What other ones do we have here that we're going to talk about? Oh, the Identity Crisis, Planet Hulk, and World War Hulk. Identity Crisis is a DC one. That one is actually one of like my favorite DC comics. I That one was kind of what solidified me that like DC can tell story better some of the time. Whereas Marvel has like way cooler characters. I find DC has a lot of like really corny, weird characters, where Marvel has like a lot of the cooler characters for sure. But sometimes in storytelling, especially like in events and whatnot, I find that they can be kind of all over the place and not used very well. What else? Or is there? Oh, and of course the Batman Nightfall series. I own all three issues of that, the full series, completely all the way through. That was a really, really cool series for me. I'll talk about that. I'll break that down comprehensively at some point. Other than that, I have a Nintendo Switch. That's like my main console, so I wouldn't really call myself a gamer too much. I mean, I play a lot of games. I love games, and when I get my capture card, I'll definitely start streaming with my Switch a little bit more. But as of right now, I don't think that's the main focus of what my channel is. It's just kind of to hang out, have a good time, talk about some cool stuff, start a discussion, figure out what you guys want to hear, figure out what you guys want to do. This is just gonna be like a cool hobby for me, and if you guys end up enjoying it, then all the merrier. That's awesome. Uh, this is just I don't like as I said. This is mainly just for me and for my own benefit. I think. I don't have a PayPal or anything like that set up, but if this gets big enough, you can donate and everything like that. I definitely want to use this at some point to definitely to try and generate some revenue, but that is not the sole purpose of it at this given time. Given right now, this is just something I want to do for fun and have some fun with it, and you know explore a little bit and talk about some cool things with you guys. Anyway, as of right now, that's basically all I have for an introduction. I can't really think of anything else to say to open it up. I hope you enjoyed. Catch you on the next time. Thanks for tuning in.